Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and this evening we're going to be getting you all the latest updates coming in from Parliament. An hour ago, it was expected that Prime Minister Modi would speak, but that didn't happen. That's what we're going to be talking about in this edition of Super 6. Adjournment after adjournment. And we have for you the video of what exactly played out at 5 p.m. when the Prime Minister was expected to speak in the Lok Sabha. What really was the opposition strategy that ensured in a matter of 60 seconds the House was adjourned? The question now is whether the Prime Minister will be allowed to speak come tomorrow, or are we going to see this kind of chaos, this deadlock continuing? We'll get you all the Parliament updates. Also coming up on the show at 6:30 this evening, the latest updates on the big showdown in Karnataka over an alleged liquor gate. BJP holding a sleepover protest in the Karnataka Assembly. Those updates, those reactions coming your way. So we've got a packed show lined up for you. We begin with a news break coming in from Parliament. We're going to play out for you now the full 63 seconds of mayhem in the Lok Sabha. 63 seconds, that's all the House managed to function. It was reconvened at 5 p.m. for the Prime Minister to speak, and only for 63 seconds was the House in session. Let's listen in to exactly what happened. We're playing out for you that full footage.
माननीय सदस्य श्री पीपी चौधरी जी।
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय, मैं आपको धन्यवाद करता हूं कि आपने राष्ट्रपति के अभिभाषण पर धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव के समर्थन में बोलने के लिए मुझे मौका दिया।
माननीय सदस्य प्लीज आप सभी लोग अपने अपने सीट पर जाइए। माननीय सदस्य
माननीय अध्यक्ष स्पीकर महोदय ने बड़ा सोच समझ करके एक दलित व्यक्ति को और कल उनको सभापति का मौका दिया, लेकिन
मैं सभी माननीय सदस्यों से आग्रह कर रही हूं कि
कांग्रेस पार्टी के नेता राहुल गांधी के इशारे पर उनके जो
की कार्रवाई कल हमारे दिनांक 5 फरवरी 2026 को प्रातः 11 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
सभापति के कुर्सी पे बैठे थे, उनके ऊपर कागज फाड़ करके फेंके गए।
So 1 minute, that's exactly what played out. Non-stop chaos, and this was clearly a planned protest by the opposition. You see that sequence there, where all the women MPs from the opposition came together, stood right in front of where the Prime Minister would usually be seated. He wasn't there in the House just yet. They held up posters, there was sloganeering, there was no way the House could function. The message was very clear that the opposition will not let the Prime Minister speak today. 24 hours later, tomorrow, will the deadlock continue? What will play out? These were women opposition MPs who essentially led the protest, garrowing the Prime Minister's chair in the Lok Sabha. I'll again highlight in that footage that you see there, you see all of them in the well of the House facing the Treasury bench, where usually the Prime Minister is seated in the first row. The Prime Minister wasn't there just yet, but it was impossible to let the House function through this chaos, through this commotion. I'll bring in Piyush Mishra for details of what exactly played out. Piyush, it was clear that this was a planned protest. The opposition had no intention of allowing the House to function, let alone allow the Prime Minister to speak.
Well, that's right. The opposition had no intention to let the parliament function, and that's what we also witnessed. Like you rightly showed to our viewers, that the House, when it got resumed, was able to function for only 63 seconds, and after that, the House had to be adjourned because of the massive protest, sloganeering, ruckus which was created by the opposition MPs. And Akshita, we have also spoken to eyewitness to all the mayhem. BJP MP Manoj Tiwari has told us what actually transpired. He told us that even before Prime Minister could enter in Lok Sabha, a large number of women opposition MPs had garrowed the place where he usually sits. They also had garrowed the entire area from where Prime Minister enters in Lok Sabha, so which means that
Quickly, there was a stalemate clearly for the last many hours. So even before the House was reconvened, there were questions about whether the Prime Minister will get to speak at all. Was there any attempt made to reach middle ground? Was there an outreach to the opposition, despite which they continued with this protest?
Well, multiple times. We know how Lok Sabha Speaker has been trying to get in touch with opposition MPs. He has been requesting them to let the parliament function. There have been meetings with the government representatives also, in which opposition leaders have also participated. But despite holding multiple meetings, despite sending
Okay,
out
I'm cutting
messages
across to more
opposition-
breaking news coming in. Piyush, just stay with me. A reaction that's coming in from Rahul Gandhi, the leader of opposition. He has put out on social media that he believes Prime Minister Modi won't come to Parliament because he's scared and doesn't want to face the truth. This is the message from Rahul Gandhi. He says, as I said, Prime Minister Modi will not come to Parliament because he's scared and doesn't want to face the truth. This is what the Congress has been maintaining. Remember, Rahul Gandhi, the leader of opposition, over the last 2 days has been trying to speak over General Naravane's unpublished memoir. Wasn't allowed to do so. And since then has been saying that is because the Prime Minister is scared, he fears the truth. And so with the Prime Minister not speaking today, or rather not being allowed to speak, Rahul Gandhi maintains that the reason that has happened is because Prime Minister Modi won't come to Parliament because he's scared and doesn't want to face the truth. Maushmi Singh is joining us with more details on this. Maushmi, the opposition is using this to their advantage. They're using this narrative that the Prime Minister is refusing to speak in the House.
See, Akshita, I saw what unfolded in the well of the House today. I was seated right there. And, the atmosphere was absolutely, confrontational, I can say. The opposition MPs started with sloganeering, and the Treasury benches were also ready to confront. It was aamne-samne sloganeering that was happening, and there was a big banner that the opposition leaders had. And post that, the women MPs started moving towards the Treasury benches. Somewhere they were calling out for Nishikant. What Rahul Gandhi is saying, we had said it in the afternoon also, that Pradhan Mantri ki himmat nahi hogi aaj house mein aane ki. But repeatedly it was said that Prime Minister would be speaking at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
At 4 p.m, let me tell you that Priyanka Gandhi met the Speaker. The opposition MPs met the Speaker, K.C. Venugopal, and Priyanka Gandhi apparently met the Speaker. That the action will be taken against Nishikant Dubey for what he did and said in the House, which was, they said that a clear violation and a discrepancy as far as, rules, applying rules to the leader of opposition and applying rules to Nishikant Dubey is concerned.
Yeah.
But they said they were not happy with what the Speaker said. The Speaker told them that he will get back, the government will get back to him. And then that didn't happen. It was clear that the House will not be allowed to run, and PM would not be allowed to speak.
Okay, so clearly, it was a strategy that the opposition put in place that they will not allow the Prime Minister to speak. And the messaging was very clear. They said that because the leader of opposition wasn't allowed to, why should the Prime Minister be allowed to speak without any sort of disruption? While Rahul Gandhi says this is because the Prime Minister is scared, he will not speak in Parliament, the reality is this, that there was a strategy in place not to make it conducive enough for the Prime Minister to come and address the House. The same can be said, of course, for Rahul Gandhi, who wasn't allowed to speak on the issue that he wanted to of that unpublished memoir. But while we're talking about really what the Congress said, and while Rahul Gandhi says here that the Prime Minister will not turn up because he's scared, the reality is that multiple Congress leaders, including the likes of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, had said, we will not allow the Prime Minister to speak because the LOP, the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, wasn't allowed to speak. So it was clearly a strategy by the opposition that the second the House reconvened at 5 p.m, they gathered in hordes, all women MPs, opposition women MPs, gathered and bunched up at the well of the House, right by the Treasury bench, holding up posters all facing the chair where the Prime Minister would usually sit. I want to in fact get you that particular statement from Priyanka Gandhi, in which when she was asked about the Prime Minister's speech coming up, and this was a few hours ago, she says very clearly that the LOP wasn't allowed to speak. Why will we allow the Prime Minister to speak?
डर गए, आने से डर गए सदन में, और उनके रेल मंत्री और निशिकांत जी तो बुलेट ट्रेन की तरह भागे लड़कियों को। निशिकांत जी कई तरह का आरोप भी लगा रहे। डर गए, आने से डर गए सदन में, और उनके रेल मंत्री और निशिकांत जी तो बुलेट ट्रेन की तरह भागे लड़कियों को। निशिकांत जी कई तरह का आरोप भी लगा रहे।
भैया जी हाउस चलेगा क्या? आज प्राइम मिनिस्टर को बोलने का मौका देगा क्या विपक्ष?
आप देखिए क्या होता है।
क्योंकि सीधे तौर पे सांसदों को सस्पेंड भी किया गया, लेकिन बात अभी भी एलओपी की अधूरी है।
सामने है। किसका?
मैम जिस तरीके का माहौल है क्या?
So we played out two sequences there. One where Priyanka Gandhi says that the LOP wasn't allowed to speak, the Prime Minister will not be allowed to speak, we will ensure it. And the other where after there was no chance of really any proceedings in the House, she says the Prime Minister got scared. Maushami Singh is joining us with more details. So on that, Maushami, you had a very, very clear message from Priyanka Gandhi that this was the opposition strategy all along. But the question now is what happens tomorrow? Piyush tells us there have been multiple attempts to break this deadlock. It hasn't led to anything whatsoever. Now tomorrow when the Prime Minister attempts to speak, will the opposition stall it again?
Akshita, as you rightly said, if that part can be played out where Priyanka Gandhi specifically says that if the leader of opposition, and she said that in the afternoon, just about an hour before the 5 p.m. When the House was to be convened, that if our leader of the opposition is not allowed to speak, हम उनको कैसे बोलने दे सकते हैं? So that is what Priyanka Gandhi said, and clearly, perhaps they felt that the speaker was helpless. They say that the speaker didn't take any action against Nishikant Dubey, who waived all those books that he got. And this was clearly, if you look at the ruling of the Lok Sabha speaker, he said that, you cannot quote from a book, is the ruling that the speaker gave if it is not in context of the topic that is being discussed. So day before yesterday, speaker, when the discussion started, the speaker had said that. So clearly, the opposition felt that we will not let the House function, and there was an entire synchronization. I spoke to Abhishek Banerjee about at 3 p.m. and he said, suspense thoda rehne dijiye. We won't let our strategy out. That was after it come back from the Supreme Court. That means that the Congress in tandem with the Samajwadi Party, now in those visuals also that you're showing our viewers, Akshita, if you look at the opposition benches, the Trinamool Congress, the Samajwadi Party, the DMK MPs, all are up in arms. All are standing right when the House started at 5 p.m. So the plan was perhaps when the PM would come, all the opposition MPs would show that banner to the Prime Minister, which is saying what Rahul Gandhi said outside the House, jo uchit lage wahi karo. And all the women MPs then, marched when they realized that the PM is not there. They started to call out Nishikant Dubey. And Priyanka Gandhi is saying that bullet train ki tarah bhage. So perhaps tension peaking there in the lower house. And I don't think that unless there is some big reach out, anything can happen, or some action against Nishikant Dubey is what the opposition MPs would be demanding, to say the least.
Okay, Maushami getting us all of those details of what really played out and the fact that you had all of these women opposition MPs get around the Treasury bench largely to send across a message to Nishikant Dubey as well, the BJP MP who was involved in that book versus book face-off, which we'll tell you about in just a bit. I want to cut across to another news break coming in on what played out in Parliament. The BJP now is alleging that the reason the opposition MPs had garrowed the Prime Minister's chair in the Lok Sabha was because they had an intention of attacking the Prime Minister. Big claim being made here by the BJP, maintaining that the reason women MPs gathered in those big numbers, we've got that on our screens as well, towards the Treasury bench, usually where the Prime Minister is seated right in the front row there. The BJP says it's because they wanted to attack the Prime Minister. Listen in to what the BJP had to say on this.
सांसद मनोज तिवारी इस वक्त हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए मौजूद है। मनोज जी, आप अंदर मौजूद थे, आज प्रधानमंत्री को 5 बजे बोलना था, क्या हुआ कि फिर से सदन को स्थगित करना पड़ा?
हम लोग बहुत उत्सुकता से आज प्रधानमंत्री जी को सुनने के लिए बैठे थे। पहली बार आप देख रहे होंगे कि महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी के अभिभाषण का धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव ये नहीं होने दे रहे हैं, और प्रधानमंत्री जब बोलने आने वाले थे तब इन्होंने बेल में आने के बाद जहां प्रधानमंत्री जी बैठते हैं उस पे चढ़ गए और वहां से भी 3-4 चेयर आगे जा करके इन्होंने बवाल किया और उस आगे आगे प्री प्लान महिलाओं को रखा, आगे सबसे महिलाओं को रखा, पीछे अपने लोग आए। इनकी पूरी मनसा आज लड़ाई करने की थी। वो तो धन्यवाद है किरण रिजिजू जी का, धन्यवाद है हमारे अश्विनी वैष्णव जी वहां थे, सब लोगों ने उनको रिक्वेस्ट कर करके, प्रार्थना कर करके पीछे हटाया। आप सोचिए क्या इस देश में मिल रही हार का बदला आप सदन में मारपीट करके लोगे?
आप ये बता रहे हैं कि कुछ महिला सांसदों को आगे करके प्रधानमंत्री जहां बैठते हैं वहां
Yes.
उस चेयर को घेरने की कोशिश थी,
और घेर लिया था।
Manikam Tagore of the Congress is joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Tagore, we've seen the images on our screens of the House essentially functioning for 1 minute at 5 p.m., sir. And the BJP is saying that this was an intentional strategy by the opposition.
This is a day where for the past 3 days, Indian Parliament is being insulted by the arrogance of BJP. Again and again, opposition leaders are not allowed to speak. When he was given opportunity also, his speech was curtailed. Then all other opposition parties, their speeches have been bulled out. Suddenly they listed Prime Minister's reply, and the Prime Minister also has backed out in the last minute to attend the
Prime
Parliament.
Minister wasn't allowed to speak, was he, Mr. Tagore?
What is it?
Was the Prime Minister allowed to speak? We're seeing images of all these opposition MPs facing the Treasury bench. The BJP says it was to target the Prime Minister.
Where was the Prime Minister?
He wasn't there. Yes, you're right. He wasn't there. But the opposition did continue their sloganeering. Was it a conducive atmosphere to have the Prime Minister speak?
Yes, he has faced the opposition like this the previous time also. They were shouting in the well only, and when he kept on speaking also, he offered water also. You people only run that story also.
No, so you're suggesting that the Prime Minister had no intention to speak?
He is afraid to come to Parliament. Question is that only. He is not ready to come to Parliament. He is unable to face Parliament. They don't want the opposition leader to speak. When he is quoting a book, they are making reckless over a book which has been written by General Indian General.
General Naramane, yes.
And that book, they created 3 days of Parliament and disturbed because of that book. And today they had asked the people like deal makers like Nishikant to bring in all other books which insult Nehru and Indira Gandhi, and they did in record of the Parliament.
No, but sir, if the opposition had allowed the House to function at 5 p.m. and the Prime Minister was supposed to speak and then he didn't speak, that would have led to the BJP having to answer all of these questions, sir.
Oh, that is the way. Then how Nishikant Dubey, they allowed him to speak?
He held up a book, Mr. Tagore. He held up a book. There was chaos then too. There was ruckus then too.
Yeah, then he spoke, You have to understand it. When you enter into Parliament, you will see now these reckless, whatever we shout also, no voice is heard there anywhere. The mic system are so improved, nobody knows what is happening. Whenever they want, they will show these kind of images. Let them stop this kind of cheap politics. BJP and particularly Kiran Rijiju must stop this kind of thing. He has completely failed as the parliamentary affairs minister. The trade minister has completely failed as trade minister. This country is going through a complete mayhem, and the Prime Minister is not ready to come to the Parliament. He was scheduled to address the nation on thanking the President to address to the Parliament. He has backed out of it, and you are not ready to discuss about it. And you are asking Parliament, opposition, women MPs, and speaking about those kind of Manoj Tiwari-like characters.
No, sir, let me be very clear, Mr. Manikam Tagore, we are showing both sides. We will let both sides speak. We're letting members of Parliament of the BJP speak. We're letting others also speak, which is why we have you also, Mr. Tagore, on this broadcast, to show both sides. We let the viewers decide what they must of what they're seeing right now in Parliament. Ultimately, look, the Parliament is not functioning, Mr. Tagore. There's zero business that's happening. House is being convened for exactly 63 seconds.
Who adjourned it? Why government is not? Why the Prime Minister? It was scheduled to 5 o'clock, Prime Minister. You people earlier Pradhan Mantri ka sandesh. You people are only running it. That Prime Minister is going to debate on Wednesday 5 o'clock. Who ran it? The media ran it. Because government feeded the media with that information.
So,
why Prime Minister ran away from that thing? My question is that only.
No, so I think it's very convenient to blame the media amid this. Again and again, I will reiterate that we're showing all sides here. And that's very evident in the fact that we had Mr. Manoj Tiwari and now you, Mr. Tagore, joining us on this broadcast. But I'll thank you there. I'll wrap it up. You've heard from both sides. You, the viewer, can decide what really you think of what's played out in Parliament. Those are the images on your screen. 63 seconds is all that the House convened for. At a time when the Prime Minister was supposed to speak, it didn't happen. The Prime Minister wasn't there. And you had these opposition MPs all gathering in the well of the House, holding up posters. In 63 seconds, the House was adjourned. Now, the question is tomorrow, are we going to be seeing again a washout day or are we going to see any business? Because ultimately, remember that this is the story every single session. We keep rehashing, keep highlighting the cost of a washout. And I'm going to do it again now, that running Parliament for just 1 minute, the 63 seconds that you witnessed at 5 p.m., that costs 2.5 lakh rupees. Running Parliament for just 1 minute. That's how much it cost at 5 p.m. Besides that, for 1 hour, 1.5 crores. For 6 hours a day is 9 crores. For 13 days, which is usually the duration of an entire session, it's 117 crores. Now think about that. Where is the money going? Because ultimately, there's zero business that's happened. It's adjournment after adjournment, and we will hold the members of Parliament responsible, accountable, whether it's the BJP or the opposition, that ultimately this deadlock is leading to zero business in the House. What did we see today playing out? A face-off, a Sardar versus Gaddar war. All of this playing out in the Parliament premises. Again, let me highlight zero business. This bickering continues. Rahul Gandhi was standing outside the Parliament complex. That's the sequence there. He was standing with the suspended MPs when Ravneet Singh Bittu, a former Congress leader, current Union Minister, walked by. Rahul Gandhi calls him a traitor, says, "Hello, brother, hello, traitor." Now, the BJP leader hit back, calling him a Desh ki Dushman. We play out for you their entire controversy.
Here is a traitor walking right by.
Gaddar.
Hello, brother. Surrender.
Desh ke Dushman. A bitter banter between leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi and Union Minister Ravneet Singh Bittu, who used to be in the Congress once. It all happened when Rahul Gandhi went to greet suspended opposition MPs protesting at the Makar Dwar outside Parliament. Just then, the Union Minister approached the stairs to enter the House. Rahul took a jibe at Bittu, calling him a traitor.
Here is a traitor walking right by. Take a look at your face. That's what it looks like. Hello, brother. My traitor friend.
The comments by Rahul drew laughs from opposition MPs. It was then Bittu's turn to hit back. He called the opposition anti-nationals. Later, Bittu described the Congress as an anti-Sikh party.
बिल्कुल मैं तो इस चीज का जरूर भी मेरे मान मर्यादा के लिए मैं स्पीकर साहब को भी कहूंगा, भी अब अंदर तो थे अब बाहर भी ये हमें गेटों पे घेर के अब शब्द बातें कर रहे हैं.
Sikh leaders in the BJP slammed Rahul and urged Speaker Om Birla to take action against Gandhi.
अरे मेरे भाई, अगर ट्रेटर है तुम्हारे और भी कई दोस्त यार होंगे, मित्र होंगे जो ट्रेटर होंगे. But then why do you want him to come back if he's a traitor? No, it's a mindset. Desecration of Golden Temple, 1984, और day in and day out. पहले तो होता था कि अब देश से बाहर निकलते थे तो ऐसे शब्द इस्तेमाल करते थे देश की, ट्राइंग टू अंडरमाइन द कंट्री.
जो सिख आर्मी के अंदर लड़कर पाकिस्तान को हराने वाले सिख थे, उनको जिंदा जलाने का काम इस गांधी परिवार ने किया. देश में अगर कोई गद्दार है तो वह गांधी परिवार है. हम जरूर, मैं आज ये कहना चाहता हूं कि माननीय स्पीकर साहब को भी ऐसे लोगों पे कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए. इस मानसिकता का कोई स्थान नहीं है इस भारत देश के अंदर.
And the Congress rubbished BJP's charges.
बिट्टू जी भी बोल के गए देश के दुश्मन राहुल गांधी।
ये तो पता नहीं कि देश का दुश्मन है कौन। ये तो देश की जनता बताएगी कि देश का दुश्मन वो है जिन्होंने परिवार जिन्होंने इस देश के लिए अपनी जानें कुर्बान की है, कि वो लोग हैं जो धोखा करते हैं, वो लोग हैं जो पीठ में छुरा मारते हैं।
The Sikh community and Congress share a strained past due to the 1984 riots that killed thousands of Sikhs in Delhi after Indira Gandhi's assassination by Sikh bodyguards. The Congress later gave India its first and only Sikh Prime Minister in Manmohan Singh, but the ghost of 1984 still haunts the Gandhis. The face-off between Rahul Gandhi and Ravneet Bittu has now sparked what many would call a needless controversy. With Piyush Mishra and Maushami Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
And the reason you saw endless disruptions in Parliament today is because after Rahul Gandhi brought up former Army Chief General M.M. Naravane's memoir in Parliament, and it led to that showdown where he wasn't allowed to speak, the BJP's hit back with its own book attack. BJP MP Nishikant Dubey walked into the House holding up books on alleged Congress graft, including one on the Bofors scam, which is what he's holding up in the House amid loud protests from the opposition benches. The situation quickly escalated. Opposition MPs started throwing papers, hurling them, tearing them up, all of this inside the House. And then you had torn sheets being hurled back amid the commotion. So nobody knows who actually threw these papers. Some of them were hurled towards the chair as well. Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi has accused BJP of using Nishikant Dubey to disrupt proceedings. She's alleged that Dubey was doing the government's bidding to create disruption so that the Prime Minister didn't have to speak.
सभापति महोदय, यहाँ किताब पर चर्चा चल रही है। एक किताब पर चर्चा चल रही है, वो किताब जो आज तक छपी ही नहीं। मैं आपके माध्यम से सदन को उस किताब के बारे में, उन किताबों के बारे में बताना चाहता हूं जो नेहरू परिवार, कांग्रेस परिवार के गद्दारी, मक्कारी, भ्रष्टाचार और अय्यासी से भरा पड़ा है। और वो सब छपी हुई किताब है सर। पहली किताब ये है एडवीना एंड नेहरू। भारत जो स्वतंत्र हुआ तो किस तरह से पाकिस्तान का बंटवारा हुआ और किस तरह से भारत के पहले प्रधानमंत्री अय्यासी कर रहे थे, इस किताब में मैं उसका जिक्र करना चाहता हूं।
Every youngster in India should see that this book exists. This is Mr. Naravane's book. नारावने जी की किताब है। इसमें उन्होंने पूरा अकाउंट लिखा है जो लद्दाख का जो अकाउंट था, और मुझे कहा गया है और मुझे कहा गया है कि मैं इस बुक को कोट नहीं कर सकता हूं, बट यहाँ पे पूरा लिखा है। यहाँ पे मेन लाइन है जो प्रधानमंत्री ने कही, जो उचित समझो वो करो, राइट। जब चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ जनरल नारावाने ने राजनाथ सिंह जी को फोन किया और कहा कि देखिए कैलाश रिज पर
सबसे पहले स्पष्ट ये होना चाहिए कि निशिकांत दुबे जी तभी उठते हैं जब सरकार की इजाजत होती है, जब सरकार कहती है कि जाओ हाउस को डिसरप्ट करो। 0 आवर बैलेट पे आता है, आप देखिए उनका हर रोज 0 आवर आ जाता है। हम मांगते मांगते बैठे रहते हैं, हमारा नहीं आता। तो जब सरकार चाहती है कि कुछ डिसरप्शन करना है तो वो उनको उठाते हैं। अब आप बताइए, अगर एलओपी को बोलने नहीं दिया, एलओपी को एक किताब जो प्रकाशित है, जो आज आपके सामने भी दिखाई है उन्होंने कि प्रकाशित किताब है, अमेज़न से खरीदी की गई प्रकाशित किताब है, उससे कोट नहीं करने दे रहे। आप नियम कह रहे हो कि ये नियम का उल्लंघन है। तो अब ये महाराज उठे हैं और ये 6 किताबें सामने दिखा रहे हैं, उनमें से कोट कर रहे हैं, आप कुछ नहीं कह रहे हैं। इनका माइक चला जा रहा है।
And expect more of the same tomorrow. The Prime Minister expected to speak tomorrow in the Lok Sabha. The question is whether the House will be allowed to function at all for any sort of speeches, any sort of statements. After 12 months of President's rule in strife to Manipur, there's finally a new Chief Minister who's been sworn in. Yumnam Khemchand Singh takes oath as Manipur Chief Minister. A Meitei leader, YK Singh, is now the Manipur Chief Minister, having been sworn in, having taken the oath as a Chief Minister. Now, remember, the announcement was made yesterday that finally Manipur, after being under President's rule for 12 months, would get a new Chief Minister. Government formation has been done. Importantly, also, there are 2 Deputy Chief Ministers, and one of them is a historic one, Naimcha Kimgen, a BJP Kuki leader. So you've got representation of the Kuki community also in one of the highest posts in the Manipur government.
47 तक में इसकी ग्रोथ, नेशन की ग्रोथ जो आना है, तो इसमें मणिपुर का भी हिस्सा लेने के लिए आपको एक रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दिया, इस बात के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद। मणिपुर की जो कंपोनेंट है 36 कम्युनिटीज की कंपोनेंट है, एंड मणिपुर को संभाल के आया बाय दिस 36 कम्युनिटीज। तो सेंस ऑफ पार्टिसिपेशन जो दे रहे हैं, उससे हम लोग की आशा है कि मतलब पीसफुल एटमॉस्फेयर लाने में।
Okay, I'll bring in Baby Shireen for more details on this. Baby, good evening. Just run us through the significance, really, of the choice of leaders here, whether it's a Métis leader as Chief Minister, or for that matter, a Kuki leader, first woman to be the Deputy Chief Minister of Manipur.
Hello.
Baby Shireen, go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, repeat the question because there is a noise and I can't.
Okay, we're going to reconnect with our correspondent there to get you those details. But important highlights here. One is that after 12 months President's rule being revoked, Manipur getting a new Chief Minister in YK Singh, a Métis leader, but importantly also 2 Deputy Chief Ministers, in which the symbolism is hugely important here. Naimcha Kimgen, first woman, first person from the Kuki Zo community to hold such a high-ranking position in the state, and the second Deputy Chief Minister, Losi Diko, now represents the Naga majority region affiliated with the NPF. That's a BJP ally. So very carefully leaders have been chosen, also with the hope that with this kind of representation, that you have a Métis Chief Minister and someone from the Kuki Zo community as a Deputy Chief Minister, the strife that we witnessed in Manipur comes to an end. Baby Shireen is with us for more details. Baby, if you can hear me, take us through the significance of the leaders who've been chosen, the symbolism involved here.
Yeah, today
Go ahead, we can hear you. Okay, our sincere apologies there for not getting that connection through, but we will get you more details really that we're picking up on the significant moment, a historic moment indeed for Manipur. Okay, let's move on to news from Karnataka. You had BJP and JDS MLAs today staging an overnight sit-in protest at the Vidhan Sauda, a sleepover protest. Why? Because they're demanding the resignation of Excise Minister R.B. Timapur over allegations of a massive corruption scandal involving his department. Despite the growing pressure, the minister has remained defiant, saying he's done nothing wrong.
Karnataka's Vidhan Sauda turned into a political battleground overnight. BJP and JDS MLAs spent the night inside the assembly, staging a dharna demanding the resignation of Excise Minister R.B. Timapur over alleged liquor gate. The opposition is alleging large-scale bribery in the excise department, particularly in the granting of liquor licenses.
This is the biggest loot in Karnataka. Already Prime Minister Narendra Modi told in the press in Maharashtra election, 700 crores from the liquor, Karnataka came to Maharashtra election. This is the statement of Honorable Prime Minister.
When this is the case, there cannot be investigation as per their wishes. the proper investigation has to be carried out and truth should come out. This is our demand. So if investigation has to be carried out, the concerned minister, the allegation of 6,000 crores corruption, the excise minister is bound to resign.
No evidence, nothing.
Minister Thimapur refused to buckle under pressure.
Unnecessary creating the problem. No evidence, nothing. This is created by politics. Therefore, I am not resigned and nothing.
Tempers flared further when a Congress MLA sparked fresh controversy with a dog jibe aimed at the NDA.
ನಿನ್ನಂತ 100 ನಾಯಿಗಳು ಬಂದ್ರು ನಾನು ಎದುರಲ್ಲ. ನಾಯಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಕಡೆ ನೀವು, ಆ ನಾಯಿಗಳಿಗಾರ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ನೀವು ಹುಟ್ಟು ಅಯೋಗ್ಯರು. ಈ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತಾಳ ಹಾಕಿ ತಟ್ಟ ಹಾಕಿ ಈ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ.
From religious chants to sloganeering in assembly, the battle lines are clearly drawn in Karnataka. With Sagai Raj, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you breaking news that's coming in from the Kolkata airport of a Turkish Airlines flight making an emergency landing after an engine fire scare. 236 people were on board this particular flight. The Turkish 727 aircraft was operating from Kathmandu to Istanbul when the captain informed the Kolkata Air Traffic Control about the suspected engine fire. Following this, the flight was immediately diverted to Kolkata with a full emergency being declared. The aircraft landed at the Kolkata airport at about 2:50 this afternoon. It's still stationed at the Kolkata airport. The inspection is still underway. Those are the images on your screens from the Kolkata airport of the grounded Turkish Airlines flight. We're still awaiting details of what really has emerged post that inspection. But huge scare there. What we can confirm for you right now is that the passengers are on board. About 236 people who are on board this aircraft have all been safely evacuated. It is yet to be confirmed whether there was a fire in the aircraft or not. This was based on the suspicion that a full emergency was declared and the aircraft was allowed to land in Kolkata. The Turkish Airlines flight was flying from Kathmandu to Istanbul. So right after takeoff from Kathmandu, it seems that the pilot did suspect that something was wrong, suspected that this could be of an engine fire, which is why, in fact, after an SOS call, immediately the flight was given permission to touch down in Kolkata. All emergency measures were immediately kicked in. This touchdown took place at 2:50 this afternoon. Tapas Sen Gupta is joining us from Kolkata with more details on this. Tapas, what's the latest you've been able to pick up on the searches that have taken place, the checks that have taken place? Has the inspection confirmed a fire?
Oh, well, yes, there was a malfunction on the right engine of the Turkish 727 airline, which was en route from Kathmandu to Istanbul. And having noticed that the captain of the flight immediately informed the nearest ADC, that was Kolkata, and finally they got permission to land. And at around 2:50 in the afternoon today, with 236 passengers on board, it landed at the Calcutta airport. And as of now, the inspection is going on. All passengers are safe. And once there's a go-ahead from the technical team, it is likely to fly back. Or if we have been given to understand, if the technical problem cannot be sorted out, then there would be alternative arrangements that could be made for the stranded passengers. Back to you.
All right. Thanks very much, Tapas, for that update. So Tapas confirming for us that yes, there was in fact a fire that was reported in the engine. So huge mishap that's been averted there, courtesy the pilot realizing that something wasn't right and ensuring that he declared an immediate emergency and the flight on a priority basis was allowed to touch down at the Kolkata airport. Okay, let's move on now to a huge debate that's been sparked over whether there's a need to ban social media for minors, for those under 16. Australia had done it a few weeks ago, and now Spain has also planned to ban social media targeting minors under 16, calling it a shield against the digital Wild West. This is what the Spanish Prime Minister has said in Dubai when he spoke out about the menace of social media and how there's a need for regulation. There's also a whole lot of debate about whether this is a need of the hour in India too. Let's get you details of how different countries now are taking this step.
Spain's socialist government will introduce a bill next week in parliament to block children under 16 from social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram and X. Social media websites will have to ensure a robust age verification process. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, who announced the move at the World Government Summit in Dubai on Tuesday, slammed social media for flouting laws and ignoring crimes. He said the new rules will hold executives liable for hate speech and illegal content. Algorithm manipulation to boost harm will become a crime.
Spain will ban access to social media for minors under the age of 16.
The political class in Spain is divided. Conservative opposition supports the ban, but the far-right Vox blasts it as censorship. Elon Musk, who owns X, has hit out at Sanchez, calling him a tyrant and a traitor to the people of Spain. Using an explicit insult like Dirty Sanchez with a poop emoji, he labeled Sanchez as a true fascist totalitarian on X. While the move seems to have upset teenagers in Spain, parents welcome the proposed ban.
I honestly think I'm a little against it because even though there are many bad things about social media, there are also good things. And I think it's more of a decision for parents than for the government. I think it's fine. Yes, it's a good measure to encourage children to play with each other and not to be on their mobile phones, which I think is terrible, to be honest.
Well, I don't generally like prohibitions, but I understand that this measure is necessary.
The ban, drafted with the help of UNICEF experts, could deactivate 7 lakh teen accounts in Spain. Australia had announced a similar ban in December to curb grooming, cyberbullying, porn exposure and addiction. While the United Kingdom and France are also considering similar age-based restrictions. Bureau Report, India Today.